It's Shannon.
And Artis, and today we're going to talk about the differences between the 2-1 buy down and a fixed rate mortgage.
Stay tuned. And we're back. And yes, like Artis said, today we're going to dive into a little bit of the differences between that fixed rate and that 2-1 buy down.
Yeah, so first thing we're going to talk about is a fixed rate mortgage. So fixed rate mortgage, there's nothing really new about it that you haven't heard before. It's the same thing that you've already heard of from most lenders. So your fixed rate is exactly what it says, fixed rate. The rate doesn't change. You lock in your rate during the loan process, and as long as you close on that loan, that rate stays the same from when you lock it in all the way through the end of that loan. So whether you refinance, pay off the loan, or sell the home, you're going to have that same rate throughout the whole process. Now, what that does for you, gives you some stability and some predictability, because your payment, as far as the interest rate goes, is going to stay the same. So you're able to budget for that every month. You know if your payment at the your principal and interest, we won't talk about taxes and insurance, because unfortunately those are typically we want them to go down, but they typically always go up. So that's the only thing that's going to change in your payments. On your principal and interest though, on a fixed rate mortgage, that's going to remain the same. So if it's $1,200 a month when you close on your loan, guess what? Through month 360, 30 years, it's going to be $1,200 that first payment, $1,200 for that last payment. So it gives you some predictability and allows you to be able to budget for that piece of your mortgage.
Absolutely. And stability is great, but sometimes people are looking for something that gives them a little bit of an introductory lower interest rate, right? And so there's a program that's called the 2-1 buy down that does allow you to have a little bit lower of an interest rate for the first couple of years that you have the mortgage, and then that rate goes up slightly. It does come at a cost, so it's kind of like a buy down, but it's a temporary buy down of the interest rate, meaning that it's only for that first 2 years. So if you're doing a 2-1 buy down, let's just say the normal interest rate was 7%. That first year, your interest rate would be 5%, and then the second year it would be 6%, and then the third year it would go back up to what the rate was when you locked, which was 7% that day. And then it would remain at that 7% for the remaining term of the loan. So the additional 28 years, you would be at that fixed rate of the 7%. Now, why this is a good option and why it's something that a lot of people are interested in right now is because we are in a higher rate market right now. So being able to lock in something in the 5s for a temporary time is a good option, because then you can refinance, hopefully down the road if rates come down before that 2-year period is over, you can refinance into that lower rate. So it gives you a little bit of more flexibility going into it for those first couple of years where you have a little bit lower introductory payment. Or if it's a short-term home, you're only going to have it for a couple of years, that would be another good option of doing a 2-1 buy down, because you do have that lower payment. But again, it just gives you some flexibility going into it and gives you the opportunity to kind of go in with a little bit lower rate with the hopes that you can refinance it later down the road. So.
Mm-hmm. One of the other advantages of the temporary buy down is you don't actually lose that money. So on a fixed rate mortgage, when you're looking at doing a rate buy down, that money, just basically the money that you do on that permanent buy down, it goes towards buying that rate down. So if you refinance in 2 months, 10 months, 12 months, that money is basically spent, it's gone. Now on a temporary buyout, however, that you're basically prepaying that interest and it's getting put into a separate escrow account than your taxes and insurance. So that is, again, is an account that basically just sits on the side. And basically what happens is when you make that payment on the lower amount based on that lower interest rate, you make that payment out of your account, whatever account that you have, that you make the payment, and then the additional interest that would have been paid if you were paying the full rate gets paid out of that escrow account. Now what happens is if you refinance within those 2 years, and there's money still, so that means their money's still in that other escrow account, that prepaid interest, that money now goes, you don't lose that money now goes towards a principal buy down, which makes the loan amount that you have, it makes it lower. And then So basically, you don't lose that money. You still get a chance to use that money to make that loan amount lower once you refinance later.
Mm-hmm. So the 2-1 buy down, and there's also a 1-1 buy down, which is a 1-year temporary buy down. It's kind of a win-win when you're in a higher rate market like this, because you don't lose a dollar. And let's just say that rates never go down and you never refinance, you're still locked in for the remaining 28 years at that same rate you would have locked your regular rate at. So if rates never go down under 7 and you cap out at 7 for that additional 28 years, you're at 7, you're done. So as long as you're gonna be okay with that higher payment later and you can qualify for that, it's still a win-win. Did you have an early introductory period of having a little bit lower of a payment? Yes, but one of the other things that you need to look at too is cost of living. And you know, typically each year people get cost of living increases in their salaries and things of that nature, so your income may go up in those couple of years. It could also be a situation where you have a spouse that's staying home, maybe with a new child or something, but they're going to be going back to work, right? And then your income is going to be higher in a couple of years. There's a lot of different things that the 2-1 buy down can certainly help with. And again, there's no lose in the situation, because you lose zero money for doing that, and you're still going to be at a fixed rate for that remaining years.
Mm-hmm. And you can get, in some instances, you can get the seller to actually pay for that for you. So then again, that's not money out of your pocket, as you're using the your resources, the seller concessions, to pay for it. And then the other thing it does is it gets you in the market now. So if you're looking at a house to buy now, which right now is a great time to buy still, it gets you in that market, it gets you in the home that you want, first of all. Second of all, it allows you to, instead of waiting, you don't miss out on all that equity that you earn through those 2 years waiting for rates to go down. So there's a lot of advantages when it comes to the temporary buy down that are, you know, I said advantages over the fixed rate mortgage. Fixed rate mortgage is still a great program. It's still a great product, and it's something, you know, that we can get you into. But again, give you another option with a 2-1 buy down.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So what questions do you have over the 2-1 buy down or fixed rate mortgage, or hey, anything? Like, what's your favorite color? My favorite color, I have two, it's red and black. So anyway.
Mine is pink. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. I love pink.
Oh, the Barbie movie's coming out in a couple of weeks. Who's going to see that? Unfortunately, I have to go see that too. Anyway, that has nothing to do with, unless you're looking at buying the Barbie dream home, we help you do that too. Anyway, if you have questions, please let us know. You reach out to us by phone at 254-295-0905. You reach out to us by email at teamalexander@fairwaymc.com, or on our website at www.teamalexandercares.com. We love to hear from you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.